Before we get started, I got to give a little shout out to Hafty. Hafty is the perfect layering shirt for women. It adds a sleeve and a neckline to all of your sleeveless tops, dresses, and jumpers and allows you to wear all of today's fashions without all the extra bulk and heat, but you get to do it modestly. So I've actually got one on. This is our brand new ruche sleeve, cuts off right here. It is perfect for this maxi dress and just gives me a more modest coverage, but it also lets me extend my wardrobe all year round. Go ahead and use Her Layered Life to save 15% off your first purchase. Go check us out at hafty.com. Welcome back to the podcast. In the first two episodes, we talked about the power of women's choices, the ripple effect of supporting women-owned businesses, and I shared some of the layers of my own story. Today, we're adding a new layer. I couldn't be more excited. That is someone who has walked alongside Hafty for the last couple of years and just helped us launch our very first collection. You may know her as she teaches fifth grade, the amazing Alyssa Diaz. Alyssa is a teacher, influencer, creator, and collaborator, and she embodies exactly what this podcast is all about, using your layers, career, family, faith, and community to create something meaningful. Let's dive into her story. Alyssa, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so excited to be doing this podcast. It just feels so right that it's you.
Totally. It's made to be.
Okay, I've been dying. I already told you we've been on here for a minute and I've been stopping my questions because I've been dying to ask. How was your first week of school?
It was a whirlwind. Okay, like amazing, but also I feel like I've been hit by a truck. I think I forget every year how much the first week of school just absolutely wipes me. My body is just not, it's not even the same as like I had 7 teacher work days before I even started with students. And yes, I was tired, but it's not the same as being in front of 20, 30 kids all day, every day for a week. It is another world.
But you really are splitting and taking all your energy, and it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But my class is amazing. They are so good. And there's only 22 of them. 22. And it's much more balanced between boys and girls. I have had 3 years in a row of very boy heavy classes, which was really hard. And this year it's way more balanced. I have so many more girls, which I love. They're just generally easier in the 5th grade year. Boys are a little more out of control, a little less self-control, and they're wonderful. I love them, but having the balance is good, right?
It's good. I actually have a 5th grader this year. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. You have a 5th grade boy.
Boy. Yes.
Yeah. 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 So I love them. I love the age. They're wonderful. My class is great. They were on their best behavior. And it's the smallest class I've had in like 6 years.
Oh, wow.
So that's great. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Good. I'm excited. I'm excited to keep hearing about how the year goes because I know that you have some things, some dynamics there that you were kind of wondering how is all going to work out. You're getting other teachers, reports, and I'm super excited to know how all of the things come together.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'll be good. I think that it'll have its own unique challenges for sure this year, but a lighter group and a more balanced group. And they're like really quiet. I didn't even have to ask. So many times I like give them a task to do and they're doing it dead silent. I'm like,
You're checking their pulse.
yeah, I'm like, are we good? And like, I'm not complaining. I'm just going to pretend like I enforced this, but they're not talking.
That's awesome. That really is a great start. It's a great start. All right, let's get into some of these questions. I know I'm just excited. Alyssa and I spent a couple days together, just doing all the shoot stuff, creating content. I mean, we went to Thirst and we had some taste testing there at Thirst. We went and taste tested Joy rag candy because you'd never had it, right?
Life changed. It's already in the mail right now. I ordered like 6 bags and they're on the way.
But I know, I love it too. Princess isn't a huge fan. I'm only bringing this up because she's sitting right here, but she's not a huge fan of it.
I don't like the ropes.
Oh, the ropes. It's just the
The
ropes.
clusters were good.
That's interesting because I hate the
But I like
clusters.
more tart. I don't
Oh
like
yeah, I
super
forget
sweet.
that. Yeah, you're right. You're more of a tart person.
Mm.
I really love the ropes a lot.
Yeah. The cherry ones,
Duh. Yeah. So good.
literally to die for. That might have been my favorite one.
I know. I absolutely agree with you. Actually, that I lied. I totally lied because I just remembered about the watermelon slices. And those were bomb. Bomb.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, we digress. Okay, let's talk about business and career. I want to know what inspired you to start being an influencer? And what was that first spark that made you believe that you could actually be an influencer?
Okay, so going back to July 2022, I had already been teaching for 4 years. And I had been inspired by so many other teacher influencers. Like on my personal account, I had followed a bunch of different teacher influencers, and I was always so inspired by them and got so many ideas from them. Like I feel like I learned more from teacher influencers than I did from some of my college classes. Dare I say. There's just so many practical things and cute things and things that inspire you. And I was like, I want to do this. So the reason I started in July 2022 was I had here's a little quick overview of my teaching career. I started in public school. I was 22 years old. I did 1 year in public, had a horrible traumatic experience, left public to the only job that I was offered, which was in a private school. And I didn't foresee myself doing private just because I know the pay was not as good, the benefits were not as good, but I was like, I need a teaching job. This is what's available. I'm going in. So I taught first grade 1 year at that school. It was my first year at the school. I kind of just took my decor from my first year and planted it in there. I had so much to figure out, new school, new grade. It was first grade. So I was kind of overwhelmed. Didn't spend a lot of time on my classroom. The following year, they didn't need that first grade class anymore. So then I got moved again. And I got moved to a fifth grade class. And so I had a whole different arena to learn. And I stepped into a teacher's classroom who had moved into administration, and her room was all decorated and it was cute. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to pretty much stick with this and learn fifth grade. So I feel like my first 3 years, it was just so much change. And I was more focused on the curriculum and like, how do I teach this grade? So then it was my fifth year of teaching, and I was getting moved. I was going to stay in fifth grade. I was still teaching fifth, but I was getting moved to a brand new classroom. And this classroom, okay, my first fifth grade classroom was like a literal cave. There was no windows whatsoever, no windows. And it was a portable with like low ceilings. So it was a cave. Content probably wouldn't have been cute in there, but I would have made it work. But I didn't start then. So I got moved to a new classroom, tall ceilings, windows, much bigger. It was just a more inspiring space. And had been teaching fifth grade for 2 years. So I was just like, I got my program down. I actually want to start fresh, a whole new theme, and like completely decorate this room. On top of that, I was going to be on campus a lot of times during the summer because I was doing all the incoming testing for new students. So it's like, I'm going to be here. I have a new room. I'm going to use my room, and my room wasn't going to have summer camp in it because I was testing kids. So I was like, okay, this is the perfect opportunity. I'm going to deck out my room in a theme that really feels like me. And that was the first time I really did that. And so I was like, why not document it? Like, why not take content while I'm doing this and share it? And I think my perspective of starting the Instagram account was just, it was so small minded. I was like, I just want to share some of my things and see if anyone likes it too. I did not start it like, I want to be an influencer. I didn't start it like I'm starting a business. I just started it like, this sounds fun. I'm going to do it too. So I think that's really reflected in my name. The fact that it's She Teaches Fifth is very small minded because I could get moved. Like, what am I going to do if I'm going to teach a different grade, or I don't know. So I think that just really reflects my mindset at the time. It was just like so small. And I remember following some of my favorite teacher influencers that had like 20 or 30,000 followers and being like, Oh my gosh, these girls have it made. They are incredible. Like, they're the best influencers out there. I can't even imagine having that many followers. Like, if I had 10K, like, that would be the craziest thing ever. So I just had this very, like, narrow view of what it was going to become. But I think just like the new room was the inspiration, the spark that I was like, I want to try it. But it wasn't, yeah, my mindset wasn't, I'm going to be an influencer or I'm going to start a business. That was not where my brain was.
So do you feel like having that mindset of just very today, right? Because I think it's so important that, especially as small business owners, I think it's super important that we keep a very today perspective, right?
Yeah.
Because I think when you're starting something, when you think of like even a year from now, the reality of what that looks like, it's super overwhelming. So you feel like having that perspective of she teaches fifth. This is like a little whim. If I can get 10,000 followers, that'll be so fun. Do you feel like that was a strength?
Actually, looking back, yes, because if I had these really big goals and big dreams, I probably would have been so frustrated and disappointed with my growth because it took me a year and a half to hit 10K and I was working on it every day. Like, I was posting 4 to 5 times a week for a year and a half and like wasn't really monetizing that and was under 10K until a year and a half. So I think if I went into it with a different mindset, I might have given up.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
And if you would have gone in possibly with a mindset of this is what I want to do, instead of it being your mindset was this is fun. I've got a great space. It's super stinking cute. It actually inspires me to make it even cuter so that I have a cute aesthetic, right? What did you say? We were chatting. Show us your mug. Literally.
Everything about me has to be cute. Like, everything I buy has to be cute. Everything. It's like, oh, I need a new binder. I'm not buying a boring binder. I'm buying a cute binder. Like, every single thing that I need, it has to be cute.
Yes, and feminine and like ruffles. So she lifts up her little cute little mug and I'm like, Liz, it literally matches your outfit. Did you plan that? She's like,
No,
it's me.
it happens naturally.
I love it so much. It's so awesome. Anyways, but I really feel like that fits your brand and it's so stinking cute. And a very, very important piece to your journey was the fact that you finally had this really cute room and that actually spoke to you. And you could really feel like yourself. And that's really what gave you that spark to pursue it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's so cool. So looking back, what was the biggest aha moment? Was it that room?
I would say, okay, so like a couple months into making content, I had a video go viral. It got 1 million views. And I think that was kind of like, oh, because before it was like, 200 views. Like, I would not hit 1,000 at the beginning. And then this video got 1 million views, and watching it grow, I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is so crazy. I think that was kind of an aha moment of like, oh, I could actually make content that people love and like it goes out to the world.
That's cool. That's cool. Where is that? Do you have any idea how many views that particular reel has right today?
I don't know how many it has now. I don't think it surpassed like 2 million. I think it's still 1 point something. It is way down there in the feed, like way down. It takes a long time to scroll all the way back to that. But yeah, it's the first video ever made of I feel like this wall is kind of iconic in my room. The back wall above my cabinets, it's like really tall and high up there. And I had this idea. My brain was just on costume decor all that whole summer. And I woke up at 2 a.m. Like, I had been thinking, what am I going to do with this back wall? How do I make it cute? I'm not gonna be able to touch it. It just needs to be pretty. And I don't want to spend a lot of money on it. I just like want it to be cute. What do I do? I woke up at 2 a.m. and I was like, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. And I start typing it on my phone at 2 a.m. And then I executed the next day. And it's the checkered wall that's all the way across the back of my classroom.
Yes.
It's beautiful. And everyone loves it. And that's the video that went viral.
Okay. That was kind of your aha moment at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So what are some of the lessons that you've learned the hard way Like what lessons came as like, but also the hard way, but how did they turn into unexpected blessings?
Yeah. I think a couple things come to mind with this. One, there is so much to learn about being an influencer and like how to do all the layers of things that come with running this type of business. And I have always been a very DIY girl. And I like went to trial and error university. I tried everything myself and did not really realize how much there is out there to help you. So I think that's one reason it took me so long to grow in the beginning, because I was just like, I'm going to try and figure it out myself and then just make a million mistakes along the way. And I think I learned that like eventually found, oh, there's like all these people on Instagram that teach you how to do this and show you what works on Instagram. And I'm like, why did I not follow these people before? So I think that was one thing, but I think that also helped me throughout the process. Like I really honed in what was me because I wasn't learning it from anyone else. So I'd say that's one lesson that I learned the hard way. Also, the haters, they're going to come. And I get some really mean haters on Instagram sometimes. And I've just learned that one, that is a sign that your video made it. If you got a hater, you made it. Sometimes I just want to comment back. I'm so glad you're here. I made it.
Yeah. You actually just let me know that.
Yeah. It pushed beyond the traditional algorithm. It spread into the world. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. You have communicated to me that I have, in fact, made it.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, definitely like I let those get to me at the beginning when I got like my first hate comment. I thought about it constantly for like a week.
Can you remember it?
Um, that's a great question. I'm really glad that I can't on the top of my
Yeah,
head.
I mean, I think that's
Because
actually great. That actually probably
yeah,
means
I
you've
think it's
made
a
it
good
as
thing
well.
that it's not just like I know what it is. One person did on Facebook tell me that I look fat, which I actually thought was hilarious. That's just stupid. Like I'm confident enough in myself that I don't look fat in clothes. Yeah. I thought that was she told me I look fat like a pig.
Oh, wow. Well, at least she was specific.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you.
I appreciate the use of a simile. So she passed fifth grade. Yeah. Yeah, no, and then a lot of the hate comments are like faith related. If Jesus is ever in any of my content, that's what a lot of it comes from. And then I think people just look really stupid because I teach at a private Christian school and they're like, how dare you talk about Jesus in school? I'm like, it's required. Yeah. So, I don't feel like I get a ton of hate, but it does come in. And I think I've just learned not to let it get to me, and miserable people will do that. It's only miserable people.
That is fantastic. I love, love, love that insight. I love that it really is a matter of how we perceive and how we take criticism. And I think that it's so important as we are looking at our layers, recognizing and remembering those pivotal moments. Cause I really do think that that's where God has truly intervened, right? And just said, hey, you can do this. So that's wonderful. This episode is brought to you by Modest Molly Boutique, where timeless style meets modern modesty. From everyday essentials to show-stopping statement pieces, Modest Molly helps you feel confident, chic, and true to yourself. Shop their latest collections online at modestmolly.com and discover modest fashion you'll actually love wearing. So I want to go into your family. And I want to know, who are the people that have been most influential in your journey and how they have shaped your path?
Yeah, so my family is super important to me. I mean, my immediate family, it's just me and my husband. We do not have any kids. It's just us. And I love that. Really enjoy marriage. We've been married for 6 years, just us. But very, very few people in my life understand this business. Like influencing very, very few. I do not have anyone in my family, extended family, friends, community that does what I do. So that actually has been a little bit lonely that there isn't anyone that I can talk to about it that truly understands what my job entails. But my husband has been such a huge influence on me on the business side of it. So my husband is a business owner. He also works a full-time job and he runs a business. And he got his master's in business and he has such an entrepreneurial mindset. And I don't know if I ever saw that in myself. But when this account just started growing and business opportunities started coming in, my mindset started to shift and see it as a business. And the way that he thinks about things has been really helpful to me in shaping the way that I perceive my own account as a business. So I think my husband has been the biggest influence, even though he doesn't fully understand what this job means. But he does see me every day on the couch, on the grind, working away. So
Yeah. That's awesome. I think it's so important to, I can't imagine, well, there's no way I would have been able to do, start half tea and with the family and Tyler, same, just been so supportive. And I've actually loved, I don't know if this is same for you, but I feel like because men sometimes I feel like are in this lonely world too of supporting their families and they go to work every day and coming home and talking about that. Really, there's no connection there, right? Because at home, we're not at the job. We're not really having those same experiences. So it's kind of hard, I feel like, for husbands and wives to really connect. Um, through work or through careers, really. And what I noticed is when I started working, we actually had a little bit more to talk about. He'd share kind of marketing plans with his. I mean, we're way different. He works for corporate America, which, they have a whole floor in wherever that designs and does all their marketing plans. So sometimes his ideas would be like, that's like a $3 million marketing plan. So we need to maybe bring that down just a little bit. But it still has given us a lot of common ground to talk and to communicate and to really, but I'm the same way. Couldn't do it without him. He has been a huge proponent in just everything I do. And every time I say like, hey, guess what? I'm starting a podcast. He looks at me and he's like, shakes his head a little bit. And he's like, okay, what do you need me to do? Literally the best because I know I come on like I'm a crazy lady.
yeah, my husband's the same. He's like my biggest fan, biggest supporter. So I couldn't have done it without him. But yeah, I agree. He's in corporate America as well on top of his business. So he's kind of in sales and marketing in the same way. So it definitely has created some common ground for us.
Yeah, I think it's fun. All right. How has your family played a role in your business decisions? And I feel like you kind of already went into this, but what balance have you had to strike between work and home? Because being an influencer, that's something that even for an influencer, for me too, because we started obviously in the basement, but um, it's hard. It's tricky because your job literally is in your classroom, but a lot of it's done in your home and finding that flow. How do you find that flow between the two?
Well, I am no expert, still getting better at this. But I think what helps because I'm able to do this job from home, my husband does his business from home. We both come home at like 5-ish, around there. And so we are able to both be together in the same room doing work and we can chit chat as we're working. And so we always have dinner together and then we try to be intentional about date nights on the weekend. So even though we both work basically 2 full-time jobs, people are like, how do you ever see each other? I do feel like we get a lot of time together. Like we always have dinner together every single night and we go on dates every single week. So I do feel like we get time together. I feel like really grateful that we both can do our second jobs from home.
I love that. And I love that you can work in the same room and that really is something that when you're both, in the grind, you're still including one another. I know that's been something it was so cute this morning. Clancy, she's my 12-year-old. She woke up and I was already ready. It's Saturday. I never look like this on a Saturday, right? And she's like, wait, where are you going? I said, today I'm recording my first 3 podcasts. And she literally like jumped up. She's like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. And like gave me this giant hug, But really, she's like, I'm so excited. I think you're going to do so good at it. But really including our family. For you, it's your husband, but for me, it's for my husband and kids in the process, and talking to them about it is very powerful for everybody. And that's a way that you can connect and, put them together.
Yeah. Yeah. We can like help each other. Sometimes I ask him questions. I ask him to watch like all of my reels and I'm like, what feels repetitive? What feels unnecessary? What feels choppy? Like I ask him to look at it from an outside perspective and help me. And then asks me for help when he's like designing things like flyers and ads and stuff on Canva, or we're making funny reels together, whatever it is, like we can actually help each other because we're sort of in the same sphere.
Sure. I love it. But not so much that you actually can still have your own thing too.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's do one more. Is there a piece of advice or encouragement from someone close to you that you still carry with you?
So when I was thinking through this question, I feel like there isn't a specific piece of advice that I remember someone specific telling me, but there is something that is told to me a lot by a lot of people that are close to me, and that's to slow down and rest. I am not an expert at this. I do not rest well. I think rest for me looks different than it does for a lot of people. I think rest for a lot of people is doing nothing, and I just don't. I kind of feel like blah and sick when I don't do anything. So I think rest for me more like looks like doing something that like fills me up. But yeah, people often around me tell me I need to rest. I'm not very good at that. But it is something that I try to be intentional about. And I try to be like, because I love work. So sometimes I'm just like, I'm just going to work. I'm just going to like do work things. But that's not good for my mind. I need to clear my mind. I need to not be putting so much mental load on myself. So I have been trying to be more intentional about slowing down and not working. Sunday afternoons are a great time for that. So yeah.
But I love that. I was just thinking about that. I was like, my go-to rest, especially in the summers, I just want to go lay out, right? I just want to go sit in the sun and lay out. And what I've noticed is when I do take the time to just sit and do nothing, that is when I actually come up with some of my best ideas. And I wouldn't like when I find myself grind, I don't slow down to almost kind of let the spirit talk to me, or let my mind, process everything. And a lot of times when I chill and do nothing is when I find that that's when some of my best ideas come.
Yeah. Yeah. Summertime, I love to lay out by the pool. That's like my thing to do. I pick up some food, I go to the pool. My parents like HOA pool. I go lay out for like 3-4 hours, read a book, take a nap. I love it.
Yeah. So is your like go-to reading? Is that like your go-to rest for you?
Um, it's hard because I love to do it, but I don't often find the time for it. I'd say my go-to rest is more just like relaxing, napping. Like oftentimes I go to the pool and I'll have a book and then I'm like, I'm literally just going to stare at the water.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. So I ebb and flow.
Movies are my total go-to if I am tapped and I just want to go watch a movie that I've already loved, like The Proposal. Yeah. What's your favorite movie? Proposal is my favorite movie. Well, one of them.
Oh my gosh, I was just like considering watching that last night. We got in bed and I was like, well, let's just watch a movie to go to sleep. And The Proposal was there and I was like, what did we put on? My husband wanted to watch The Sandlot.
Okay, that's a great one too.
He's like, I haven't seen this one in years. I'm like, I haven't either. Put it on. I was asleep in 5 minutes. I don't know what my favorite movie is. I'm like a really big TV show girl.
Oh, you like a series type?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Like The Office and New Girl are like my favorites to put on.
Okay.
I don't want to like have to pay attention. I've seen it all so many times. And yeah, I think those are like my go-tos.
I love it.
One Tree Hill is my favorite like drama TV.
Okay, I've never seen that.
Seen it through 3 times. There's like 7 seasons or something ridiculous.
There's a lot of episodes.
It's a lot.
I love
It's
it
a lot.
This episode is brought to you by Kiln, a modern workspace designed for creators, entrepreneurs, and businesses who want to thrive in community. At Kiln, you'll find flexible offices, meeting rooms, and all the resources you need to fuel your work and connect with others. I love that they've built spaces with intention, places that help ideas grow. To learn more and find a location near you, go to kiln.com. All right, let's go to community and mentors. Were there any unexpected people that helped you along your path? I actually love that you talked about you were a DIY gal. You thought you could do everything on your own. And then you started to realize, because I think that that's really ties in well to her layered life and the whole, our whole purpose of her layered life is to talk about collaborating and building and creating as women when we're in like a competitive zone. I think there's times and places for competitive, mostly on an basketball court or soccer field or something like that. But any other time in our lives, I really feel like it's important to remember that we are creating life, right? We're not competing for life, but we're creating life. And so I want to know when you made that shift into, ooh, I can do all this on my own. And you made that shift into, oh, and you don't have to tell somebody you're collaborating or working with them to be working with somebody, right? Like they can be a mentor, they can be inspiring. You can follow them on social, YouTube, all these sort of things. But when you made that shift from I'm going to do everything by myself to, oh, there are places and people that I can work with and learn from. What was that like? And who were those people?
Yeah. So a lot of it was just like the algorithm on Instagram. I would start to watch something and then engage with it. And then the algorithm would show me more things like that. So I have like so many different things that pop up in my feed that are helpful. So I found several different accounts that are helpful. But specifically, there was this guy, his name is CEO Zach on Instagram. And I was following him because he was giving tips on reels and just growth and engagement for small businesses. And he like talked about some tricks or whatever. And I decided to reach out to him and just send him a message because I had a question for him. And we ended up like chatting a bunch and he was like, let's meet. I have like an idea for you. So we ended up having several like Zoom calls. I ended up like paying for this like thing from him where he helped me. We like probably had a few hours worth of Zoom calls where we would just chat through strategy. Cause that's what he does. Like he does business strategy for social media. And so that was awesome and super helpful and insightful. And I just remember when we had our first meeting, he was like, so have you ever like invested any of your own money like into growing your business? I was like, not a dollar. Not even a dollar. Okay. And not at all. I mean, yes, I pay for some like apps and like subscriptions to like resources that help me tools. But I have never paid for a course. I'd never paid for like anything. I'd never invested into it at all. And he was like, oh, like he was really surprised by that. So yeah, he was the first one and kind of the most influential one that I've worked with over the past year or so that like helped shape my path for sure. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And is there anything else in your life that contributed to your success or growth? For example, activities, clubs, sports, education, anything like that. When we were together, you talked a lot about your college and the Christian college that you went to and like the expectations there. I mean, I can't help but think you are now teaching at a Christian grade school, right? With Christian values. Maybe kind of go into that a little bit. I love your story with that.
Yeah. So I went to Biola University, got a minor in Bible, a concentration in math, and my degree was liberal studies, which is elementary ed. It's a great education school. Loved my experience at Biola, and that's where I met my husband. So a lot of people go to Biola and say they're just getting their degree in husband hunting, and that's check. But I mean, yeah, I've grown up a Christian my whole life, went to a Christian private school for college, but I did public school for all of elementary, middle school, high school. So that was my first experience in a private school. I definitely really helped me in my current teaching position for sure. And just growing up in the church for sure, like helped me because we have like pretty strict rules at Biola and then pretty strict rules at my school. But it's also just something that I care about on my own and I'm passionate about. Just a really strong moral code. So definitely like my degree helped me. And then just being in that community, being in church my whole life really helped me. But if we're looking at my other career, like outside of my teaching career, there was nothing, like no classes, like no clubs, no activities. I never foresaw this being my life at all. So I never pursued anything that actually spoke into it. Just kind of happened to me.
It just worked. So how do you feel like your faith and your personal values have kind of guided your journey and your just life decisions in general?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the Lord put the desire for me to be a teacher in me when I was like in first grade. Like you asked 6-year-old Alyssa what she wants to be when she grows up. And I said I wanted to be an art teacher. Like my mom still has pictures of the things that I made. It says art teacher. So because I loved art and I wanted to be an art teacher. And then by the time I got to fifth grade, I said I wanted to be a fifth grade teacher. Like I decided. And then I also by sixth grade had to write an essay on a college and I wrote it on Biola. So
Really?
I had like my life planned out when I was like 10 years old.
And it all came true. I mean, that's what's kind of crazy. I mean, we all have our lives planned out, but it's a matter of
Usually
actually.
doesn't pan out the way you plan, but I'm a big planner. And I feel like that was the Lord. He just like put that in me. And I loved my fifth grade teacher. She was just the sweetest ever. And I loved my fifth grade year. And I'm like, I want to do that. So it's just like so cool how the Lord just like ordered my steps. I did a lot of babysitting, nannying, tutoring. Like I was always doing a lot of jobs that had to do with kids, but I also did one other job that had to do with fashion. So it's just kind of perfect that these are my two things that I care about. I worked at Uptown Cheapskate, actually. I saw your daughter posting about that.
Yeah.
Almost messaged you. Yeah, my 16-year-old first like real job was at Uptown Cheapskate. So that was fun. I was a buyer. So I got to like go through things that people brought in and decide what to put in our store. So that was really fun and really cool.
That is something that I'm very, very excited with this podcast is I prayed that I would recognize as I'm talking and speaking with the guests that I will recognize kind of those little layers. And I like as you're talking, you absolutely have had all of these layers that God has literally, like you said, put in you that has ultimately you take all these layers and it's turned into even the influencing side that you didn't think never even had a wasn't whether or not you were going to do it or not. You literally didn't ever think about it. But because of all these experiences and all of these promptings that you followed, they would have never come true or would have never happened had you not have listened and known how to listen. Um, but those are all super powerful examples as how the Lord has kind of taken you down your path. And, basically that's why you are where you are today.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a fashion girl my whole life.
Yeah.
So, like, my mom would take me to the park, and I would want to wear like my velvet princess dress, and it's 90 degrees, and that's what I wanted to wear, like when I was little. So I have always been super into fashion. So it's just really cool that I get to do both things that I'm really passionate about. And
It
I
is.
just like the Lord just opened the door, like me starting my teacher page and then having like fashion content perform. Like everyone was like, "What are you wearing? I want your outfit." And I'm
Yes.
like, "Okay, okay."
Yes.
So it was just like really cool how he just kind of like prompted me forward. He's like, "I know what I have for you,
Yes.
but I need you to just like keep stepping into it."
Yeah.
So
Just trust the process, right?
yeah.
Trust the process. Can you share a time when you felt a tender mercy or a moment of grace that assured you you were on the right path? I mean, I feel like literally sitting here talking, if all of our listeners can't actually see that it's been happening since you were 6, it sounds like it was before that too, but from your 6-year-old Alyssa wanting to be a teacher and all the little things, but there's anything in particular specific.
So I feel like I've had two specific women in my life that have really spoken into me. So as I started transitioning into a little bit more of like fashion heavy content over teacher content, I did have some like questions and some like hesitation. Am I promoting materialism? Am I promoting overspending? Am I like, is this just not of value? And so I had some kind of questions and some like concerns, like, is this what the Lord like wants from me? Can he use this? Can I glorify the Lord in fashion content? And I had two specific women from my church that are very influential out of the blue, like with no prompting, encourage me in probably I think it was like the same couple of weeks. And one of them is my pastor's wife. And she was just like, Alyssa, I love your account so much. She goes, it is so inspiring to see a woman in her 20s be on trend and fashionable, but also represent what it means to be feminine and be modest at the same time. Like, she's like, you are beautiful and trendy and fashionable and modest and feminine. And all of these things are so important to put out into the world, that femininity is still like valuable. And because so much of women's fashion, I feel like, has gone very like lost a lot of the like femininity that we used to have. And so she was just so encouraging. She's like, this is what we need. Like, Christian women need to see your fashion. They need to see that they can be beautiful and they can be feminine, but they can also like be modest and glorify the Lord in what they wear. And I was like, okay, like really, really needed to hear that from her. And then I had another woman who's also in my church. She also is the principal of the high school at my school. So I work with her and I see her at church. She is like 75, but you would never know it. You would never know it. She is just a fashionista to the max and has such a young spirit, and she's on trend. She is like with the trends, like wearing the Free People. She is 75.
That's awesome.
Like, she is just iconic. I adore her. And she came to me and also told me like, was just like so loving over my account and telling me that I am glorifying the Lord and expressing this passion and this creativity. And so both of them in the same time period, just coming to me out of the blue and encouraging me in that, I was like, okay, Lord, I see you. And I know that I can glorify the Lord in this arena.
I love it. That gave me chills. Like the whole thing, I was getting chills the whole time. Like,
Ah,
it's incredible how the Lord will send people to, even most of the time, I think that the Lord answers our prayers and our questions through others.
yes.
And that's awesome that both of those women. And I think it's awesome too that it was women that you wouldn't have necessarily thought was your demographic, that you would even be caring what you were putting or posting or whatever, but women that you obviously honored and valued their opinions, that spoke to you so clearly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. And it actually eventually led to my pastor's wife. Her name is Jenny. She's amazing. Shout out, Jenny. She came to me and she was like, I'm starting this ministry for the high school girls, and it's called Shine Girl. And we're going to be going through a 9-week program. Have you heard of it?
no, I want to.
Oh, it's amazing. It's a 9-week program, and it's all about like valuing who you are as a woman and seeing yourself the way that God sees you. And it's like life and faith kind of combined. I mean, there's even a whole week on like hygiene, like taking care of yourself. It's really cool. And she asked me to come and like be a leader and then speak one week. And I had to speak on like your community. And she was like, I want you to bring in like what you do, and I want you to bring in social media and like teach these girls how you can actually engage in with social media in a healthy and beautiful and positive way, and how you can also do it the wrong way. And I want you to like speak into that. So I was like so honored that what I do on social media of all things could be used to like bless these high school girls. So that was really awesome.
That is super duper awesome. I love it. Is there anything else? I have several other questions, but is there anything else that you feel like after you went through the questions, is there anything else you want to speak towards? Any other questions that you were like, ooh, I really want to answer this one. Did I miss anything?
Okay, can I pause and look through?
So while you look, I'm going to just talk a little bit about the collection. So the collection that we talked about in the beginning is Alyssa and Hafty has been working together for a couple years now. And Alyssa creates content for us. And we went to her, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 months ago. and said, "Hey, we want to create a collection with you." And so we did, and we launched like 4 boutique items and 6 different half tees, 4 different styles with 2 different colors. And so when I say collection, that's what I'm talking about. Both Liz and I have on the ruche sleeve. As Liz said, everything she does has to be so pretty and aesthetically cute and on trend. And it's so true. But this is the ruche sleeve that we launched with Alyssa in. This is the sky blue, and Alyssa has the cocoa color on. But that when I'm referring to that, I just thought, oh, maybe I should tell people what a collection is. It launched last week, and it was just so stinking fun.
Monday.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, so tell me.
It's only been 6 days.
Yeah, it's only been 6 days. Well, it feels like it's been like 3 months because we've been playing.
Literally, I have lived a month in the past 6 days.
I know, it's so crazy. The life of marketing, and like, we're already talking about Christmas, and I just sometimes want to throw up and say, no, back it up. Back it up. It is August, people.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. There was like only one more thing I feel like I really would like to touch on that I took notes on. That was your question about like what surprised you the most about yourself.
Okay, I love that.
Something that most people on social media are really surprised to learn about me is that I'm an introvert.
I was shocked. You told me that when we were together. And I was like, what? That's crazy. You are not an introvert. But then keep going.
Yes, I am. I'm such an introvert. We connected really easily, and you make it really easy to feel comfortable, but I am. Like, I recharge by myself, and being in a room with a bunch of new people that I don't know well is like not my favorite thing.
You would have never known. You fake
Crawl in a hole. Yeah. Yeah. No, you guys were amazing. But I think what surprised me is just like how comfortable I was able to get on camera, because I remember the first time that I started filming, I was so uncomfortable and awkward. Like, how am I gonna do this? And then even worse was talking on camera with like no one around. You're talking like you're talking to someone else, and it is like so strange. And for a long time, I couldn't even do it in front of my husband. Like, if he was in the room and I wanted to film, I'd be like, I need you to.
It's so true.
Like, I cannot do this. Like, it's too cringy. And now, whatever, like, it doesn't matter. Who cares? He's like in the rooms yesterday. Okay. Big milestone for me. Yesterday, it is 100 degrees here in Southern California right now. Pray for us. So the kids, I have extended care in my classroom, unfortunately, which is where I do my content after school. And so at 3:30, they usually bring in a bunch of the kids. So I'm like, I have to get my content done before 3:30 because then they come in. Well, yesterday, because it was 100 degrees, they didn't wait till 3:30. They just brought all these 6th through 8th graders into my room. And I'm like, I can't leave without doing my outfit.
Yes, it's true.
Like,
you got to create the content.
I
Yes.
have to.
Yes, I get it.
Skip a day. It was a cute outfit. I'm like, we're not leaving. So I'm sitting there like, there are a bunch of teenagers in here right now. I've taught them all, most of them, but there's like 20 kids on there.
They probably all follow you. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah. Half of them are like my biggest fans. Okay. So I'm like, I have to do this with them in the room. There's like the school counselor with them, all these kids. And I'm like secretly pulling, I put on Finding Dory on my screen. I'm like, look at the screen, because it's on the opposite side of my classroom. And I take out my tripod and I'm literally like sneaking in the back of my classroom. And I'm like, nobody noticed. Nobody. And I like I'm like, I have to do it. I just have to. And of course, they notice me, especially this one. I taught him last year. He's in 6th grade now. And that boy is in love with his teacher.
Yes.
And just
Question mark.
and he was like, Mrs. Diaz, are you filming a TikTok? I'm like, look at the movie. So I very bravely filmed my outfit, and I literally can feel their eyes on me, and I'm taking my little outfit video, keeping my eyes on the camera.
I want to know which one it is. I can't wait. You're going to have to text and say, this is the one that I filmed in front of
And like
the whole school.
in the room watching me right now.
So it hasn't been posted yet because I just filmed it yesterday. I'm always delayed on when things get posted, but I'll text you, I'll tag you, like this is the one.
I
Yeah.
love it.
So that was, I feel like, the ultimate test of I cannot care what other people are thinking about me. I just have to do it. And then I like finish, I end the video and they're like, yeah, Mrs. Diaz.
Oh my gosh, it's so awesome. I mean, it really is awesome. It's awesome. And it's so good for those kids to like see that. And I know they mock us. Last night we posted a video, a pro lash video, and Cooper, my 14-year-old, first comment, take this down now. And I'm like, I feel like this is like one of the least cringy videos I've done. So, and I just texted her, I just like answered, replied like she's some random human out there. She's actually my child. And I'm like, why? Like, why? But it's so good for those kids to see that confidence and just really honestly stepping into today's technology too, because it's real. These kids are going to need to be able to navigate all of these different platforms. And they do need to see that there is a lot of incredible positivity that can come, a success, what's it called? Monetary value of good things, right? That can come out of each of these platforms. And it's so good for those kids to see you doing it and be an example of that. So good for you. I'm so proud of you. That was probably, I bet you were crawling in your skin the whole time. I can only imagine.
I have some of the, I use Lens Buddy to take my pictures. It's the best thing ever. And so it just snaps them. And I'm like standing there, like kind of like fidgeting, getting ready. And then they're literally just staring at me. And I'm like, so some of the pictures you literally see me just like crumbling. I'm like, stop.
Love it. I love it. It's so good. It's so good.
I got 3 pictures that came out from that little thing. Usually I get like 10 pictures. I got 3. I'm like, hey, I only needed 1. I got to have 1.
You only need 1 good one. That's it. The rest are just going to go into a drive and never be seen again. All right. Before we wrap up every episode, I want to end with a would you rather. This is actually something my husband has been doing since we've first been married. We do it at our car rides, and he is way more eclectic and kind of spontaneous with his questions. But we're going to play a little quick game of would you rather. And if you feel like expanding on your answer, and you didn't get these because I wanted it to be a surprise. All right. So would you rather, this is going to be a good one. This will be so hard for you to answer. I already know you might start like twitching a little bit and smoke might start coming out of your ears. Would you rather always have perfect hair or always have the perfect outfit?
Oh. I would say always have perfect hair.
Really?
Yes. Because I don't have good hair without all of this clipped onto my head.
Layers, ladies, layers. Do what you got to do.
Exactly. Like this. I like, don't be fooled, people. This is not growing out of my head. I wish I was blessed with all this hair, but I am not. I wear hair extensions. So I would definitely take always have perfect hair because I'm going to imply that means that this is just my hair.
I love it. I think you should. Yeah, I agree.
And I won't have my mustache bang.
That's true. That's very true. Alyssa has had a little struggle with her bangs as of late.
I have. She cut them like just like a chunk and not at an angle, and they flip constantly and they perfectly give me a mustache. And it drives me insane.
And this bang cut is not something, because this old saying, a bad haircut is only about 2 weeks away from a good one. That's not true with the bangs.
No. We've been at this for a solid over a month.
Yeah.
Of the bad bangs.
Bummer. Okay. Well, perfect hair. Okay. I love it. Okay. So next question. Would you rather have your phone autocorrect every word wrong or only be able to type in all caps?
I feel like type in all caps. I'm a teacher. So if every word is wrong, I think my brain might actually explode.
Yes, you're right.
So better to seem like I'm screaming all the time than to have incorrect words.
Okay. Okay. I love it. Just constant hysteria all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Always chaos.
Okay. I love it. Would you rather have to sing? I forgot about this one. Would you rather have to sing everything you say or dance everywhere you go? I can't wait.
Oh my gosh. I feel like if I was a kinder teacher, I'd for sure say sing because I feel like they sing everything. Sometimes I sing my frustrations. Like if I'm like really mad about something at my kids, not my kids, I don't have those, my students. I call them my kids because they feel like that sometimes. I will like sing my frustrations, like, I just wish you would put your pencil away properly. So I don't yell at them. I'll just like sing it and I'm like, you are driving me crazy. So I guess maybe I choose sing because I do that a little bit sometimes anyways. I don't have like a great singing voice, but it's fine.
I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Would you rather always have would you rather always have a popcorn kernel stuck in your teeth or always have an eyelash in your eye?
Oh. Oh gosh, that's so hard. I feel like the eyelash would be painful, but the popcorn would look ugly.
True.
What are we choosing?
I don't
Beauty or
know. You want a
pain?
red eye
Or pain?
or a toothache
I think I would rather have the eyelash.
in your eye?
I think so.
Okay.
I feel like you look kind of disgusting with something in your teeth.
Well, I didn't say where it was. Like, I don't know if you get like a popcorn kernel stuck.
What if it's in the back? Can I choose that it's in the way back?
Well, I guess, I mean, this is your would you rather. You can choose whatever you want.
Okay, if I can choose that the popcorn kernel is like stuck, well, but then I might literally get like tooth decay.
That's true. You might be at the dentist, but that might be your only way out of it.
If that's a way out, I'll just go to the dentist. I don't know. I guess I'm choosing the tooth, the popcorn.
I would hate to have something in my eye all the time. That would drive me bonkers.
Yeah. And then you like can't see.
And then your eye starts getting irritated and red, and that's not pretty.
No.
Okay, next. Would you rather always have to pitch your business in a song or only be able to pitch it in interpretive dance?
I feel like this kind of goes with the other question of like dancing everything or singing everything. So I think I'm just going to have to stay true to the
Just
sing it.
freaking gonna sing that bad boy out.
Yeah.
Okay, love it. Okay, would you rather always have to say oh, that's a good one. Would you rather always have to say exactly what you're thinking or never be able to speak your thoughts out loud?
Oh my. That's really hard.
Yeah, that would be terrible for me if I said everything exactly like I was thinking. That would be
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That would not be good. I would make enemies. I think I'd have to not share my thoughts. I'm a sinner, you know? I'm a sinner.
yeah, me too. Me too. Okay.
So,
Which one are you choosing?
For the protection of other people, I would not be able to share my thoughts.
Yeah, I'm think I'm gonna say the same thing. Yeah, me too. All right, last one. Would you rather have a rewind button in your life or a pause button? This is a good one.
That's a good one. Pause. Like for sure. Yeah. Because I think everything like happens for a reason and God can use even like the bad things. But the pause button would help me to relax.
True.
You know, like you're like, sometimes life is going by so fast. And you're just like, I have too much to do and not enough time to do it. And so if I could just pause.
I agree. I think that too. I think especially with raising kids, I would have loved to have a pause button. Like just long enough to where I was like, oh, okay, I'm done with this stage. We can move on. And then you could really, really love it and like just marinate in it. And then, okay. But as life sits, it's like you never have a chance to just It's like the old ladies. Old ladies are so right when they say, you better enjoy this. It won't last long. And you're in the thick of it. And you're like, oh my gosh, there's no way this is lasting forever. Right. And then you get to the other side of it and you're like, oh, she was right. That little old lady was right. I agree. I
Yeah.
would choose a pause button too, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that concludes our episode 3 with Alyssa. Thank you, Alyssa, for coming on. It really was awesome to have you on today.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel very honored to be your first guest.
Yes. Well, we were very lucky to have you be our first guest. So, everyone, this is Alyssa Diaz. Go give her a follow. She really is a fantastic role model, and she is the cutest influencer on the planet. I think we should close with a fit check really quick. This just came to me. Should we do a little fit check?
Okay. We're going to have to adjust.
Okay, you.
I'm not wearing shoes.
Oh, right. No, well, I am too. I am, but okay, fit check. Let's say you go first.
Okay, here's my outfit of the day. Dress is half tee. Half tee is half tee. I've got the ruffle in cocoa, and I've got this cute midi dress that is smocked up here, and it's so cute. Perfect fall transition dress. Cute with boots, cute with sandals. Can you guys see the bottom of her? She is cute.
All right, fit check. This is just, a ribbed sweater dress. I'm also sporting the ruche. We did not plan that. We just put them on today. This is what is this? The sky blue color? This is the sky blue. And here's my feet because you can't see them. There you go. Shoes. Voila.
Cute.
All right. Well, I love you so much.
Love you.
In contact will be first things first, you're gonna post that post of tag me, tell me which one it was where all the kids were watching you.
Yeah.
All right, have a fantastic Saturday.
Thank you. You too.